Storm Eowyn will hit the UK tonight with damaging gusts of wind on Friday. Met Office red warnings are in place across Northern Ireland, central and southwestern Scotland. The storm system has been intensifying as we've been through Wednesday night and into Thursday. This massive cloud under there, that's where the storm is picking up intensity and will continue to do so as it approaches the Republic of Ireland and the United Kingdom over the next 12 hours or so. Full details on that in just a second. First of all, we've got to get rid of today's weather because there's some lively downpours out there right now. Gusty winds too for West Wales and southwest England. Met Office yellow warning in place, gusts of 50 or 60 miles an hour. They'll be easing in the south and west. The skies actually brighten here this afternoon, but staying pretty wet across much of eastern England, northern England and a good part of Scotland with a little bit of snow over the hills. Some brighter spells in Northern Ireland, but also a few showers coming in here through the rest of the day. Temperature-wise, still cold under that zone of cloud and rain, struggling temperatures 5-6 degrees, but it is turning a little milder across the south, 7, 8, 9, maybe double digits in the far southwest. And then all eyes down to the southwest as the cloud starts to move in from Storm Eowyn. The rain getting into southern parts of the Republic of Ireland through this evening, then spreading northwards, some snow mixed in over the hills of Northern Ireland. That shouldn't last too long, but then the wet weather swings across most areas by the end of the night. Heavy pulses of rain pushed along by a strong and, very strong and gusty wind, with some more snow over the hills of northern England and into Scotland. Let's look at the winds in detail because, yes, it is going to turn wet. Yes, there'll be some snow on the hills, but the winds are likely to cause the biggest disruption, the most damage. There's the storm system itself just drifting up to the northwest of Northern Ireland. The strongest winds here on its southern flank, that's where the isobars are really squeezed together. If we rewind again and run through the night, put the wind gusts on, we can see just how strong, how damaging they are likely to be. Initially getting into southwestern parts of the Republic of Ireland around about midnight, but then look at this zone of really strong winds that get into the west coast of Ireland and then across into Northern Ireland by Friday morning rush hour. So some of the strongest winds likely across Northern Ireland on Friday morning's rush hour, but also look at this zone of very powerful winds across the Irish Sea into southwest Scotland, and then as the storm itself, the centre of the low, heading its way up across the Western Isles. These strong winds on its southern flank get into central and western parts of Scotland, that zone of damaging gusts of wind through the early part of the afternoon. The storm itself then heads up across the Northern Isles with strong winds still across northern Scotland, even as we head into Saturday. It's going to be a very, very windy spell right across the UK. But let's focus in on the warnings because of that storm system. Red warnings for Northern Ireland and central and western parts of Scotland. Gusts of wind in this zone widely 60-70 miles an hour. Gusts of 80-90 miles an hour expected. The possibility in exposed areas of gusts of 100 miles an hour. Those kind of winds are damaging. They are going to cause structural issues, bring down power cables, branches, cause widespread travel disruption as well. There are amber warnings flanking that red warning over northern England, North Wales and northern Scotland. Broad yellow warnings covering the whole of the UK. That's for the winds, but there's also a warning for snow across Scotland, mostly over the hills, but could cause some disruption on some of the higher routes. And of course, with the winds, that means blizzards and a rain warning. With today's rain followed by further heavy rain, could cause some flooding issues over parts of Wales and southwest England. A lot of warnings in place. Check out the Met Office website or our free app for full details. You can go and see how you could be impacted and what you can do to prepare yourself for this storm system coming in. Again, lots and lots of information available on our website. And please do keep up to date with the forecast. Here's how the day looks weather-wise. A very wet start. There's the snow over northern Scotland. Further spell of strong winds burrowing there across Northern Ireland, then into western Scotland. So it's really through the morning into the early afternoon that those damaging gusts are likely in this zone, but a very gusty day everywhere. Notice actually much of England and Wales fine and bright sunny spells for a good chunk of the day once the initial rain has passed through, but it stays very wet across the far northwest, and those strong winds will continue in northern Scotland well into Friday night, and the warnings continue into Saturday morning too. Temperature-wise, well, double digits across the south. Haven't seen that for a while, but obviously won't feel all that mild with the wind and that initial burst of rain, and still pretty cold across northern Scotland, hence why we're continuing to see some snow over the hills, which will continue through Friday evening as well. So Friday evening's rush hour still pretty grim across northern areas. Amber warning in force for those winds. Elsewhere it turns a little drier, but then another finger of rain coming into the southwest. What happens after Storm Eowyn? Well, it will be clearing away as we head into the weekend, drifting up to the north, but there'll still be quite a few showers around into western areas on Saturday. Generally, though, a bit of a lull before this next area of low pressure comes in. Weather fronts bringing more rain, falling onto the rain that we're going to see over the next 48 hours. That could cause some issues, so we do need to keep our eyes on that. For the winds also picking up, not the same kind of level with this area of low pressure, but still the potential for further disruption during the second half of the weekend from this area of low pressure. As always, here at the Met Office, we will be keeping a very close eye on things, and we will be keeping you updated. Best way for you to stay informed is to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel.